When I speak about, for example, the Book of Enki, it is because I have vetted it, and it is in alignment with historical documentation. It is in alignment with scientific documentation. It's in alignment with universal laws. And so when I speak on it, you can see things when you go and read that book and you study the Sumerian civilization. Go and read the Book of Jasher. All right, read the Bible if you haven't read it, so you can understand the difference between the three books and how they are very much similar. And when you read the Book of Enki, you get real answers. All right, so what happened, let's be clear on what I'm saying. According to the Book of Enki, there were beings that came to this planet and they saw another being. The main character in the Book of Enki, he saw a being that he felt, hey, I can model a being off of this and create another being so that they can mine this gold from this planet. All right. Now, those beings that they saw, they didn't really go into detail about them. But when I do research in other disciplines, then I find that there are feminine beings on this planet. But when it comes to the male, the so-called anunnaki needed male beings in order to create or produce what they were here to get, and that was the gold, according to the Book of Enki. All right, and so when they created these males, they didn't want to keep having the Anunnaki women giving them the burden of producing these male beings. So they had to create a female, according to the Book of Enki. Listen, it's not for me to be trying to tell men how they are or why they should be angry or why they are angry, because that's really beside the point. My whole point is, what are the facts? Okay, what are the facts? So the fact is that a male was originally a female scientifically. Now this ain't no me thinking about it, or I was thinking about it. I'm telling you what the science say. I'm telling you what the facts say. That he was originally, that Y was an X. And it was degraded because several of the genes were removed from that chromosome. Okay, those are the facts. Listen, I'm gonna give you what it is, and then you can go and look it up for yourself. And the fact is that he was a female originally. They were feminine. Feminine stands above woman. When I say woman, that means that she's got a sex. She's got a womb. When these beings didn't need no womb to procreate, they procreated like the mitochondria. They didn't have sex. They procreated like every cell in your vessel. It don't have sex. It procreates like the other beings on the planet that know how to procreate using parthenogenesis. Wasn't no sex. So when you say a woman, what you're making it out to be is a being that has a womb. And I've already told you that when we're talking about a sperm and an egg, you're talking about an alien technology. I said it. When you're talking about a sperm and an egg, you're talking about an alien technology. These human vessels, you want to talk about aliens? Here you go. Look in the mirror. Alien. Because the original beings on this planet, that's the mitochondria. And then when you start talking about humans, there was the last beings to end up on the planet. Fish was here, bacteria was here, of course the mitochondria was here, plants was here, lions, tigers, and bears was here. Humans were the last ones. When I say feminine, I'm saying a being that procreated without the need for sex. She was feminine. When I say feminine, that automatically implies masculine and feminine. That automatically implies the light and the dark, the yin and the yang, the alpha and the omega. She was all of that. She didn't need no help procreating. She didn't need a womb. She was feminine. That's the difference. Originally, there was the being, it didn't need, again, stimulation or any kind of fertilization in order to procreate. No, it was a being that was feminine, and it could procreate with both. And it had a contract. It was a feminine contract, meaning that, listen, everything that comes in here is supposed to be able to multiply itself and then divide and go on its own way. It wasn't no, oh, it's going to grow up. And when I start talking about alien technology and people want to be stuck on sex, the feminine being didn't need it. There wasn't no clitoris because there wasn't no penis. There wasn't no need for her to be stimulated in that way, because she had control of her mind and she knew how to procreate on her own. I need you to understand that these vessels are hybrid. And hybrid beings are not supposed to be able to procreate. That's in accordance with the mitochondria. This is why she had to be tricked. No, there wasn't supposed to be a male. Originally, there was no male. The way the male got here is because somebody had to put her in a coma. So when, in accordance with the Book of Enki and my research on where these vessels came from, when they were trying to create this human vessel by splicing it with other entities and the things that they went through, they created a hybrid being. Hybrid beings are not supposed to procreate in accordance with the mitochondria. So when they did this manipulation of the male, and because that was the first one that was created in accordance with the Book of Enki, they were all carried by female Anunnaki, according to the Book of Enki. They were carried by female Anunnaki, these males were. And what happened is, when you create, once again, a hybrid vessel is not supposed to procreate. So when they created that female, this is why you get, see, when you create and you start tampering with the DNA like that, you get a being like Lilith. Those of y'all who know Lilith, a lot of my sisters, y'all love Lilith. And I love Lilith. And somebody going, Lilith? Who that? Lilith, she was, according to a left out book, the first female before Eve. So according to the left out books, Lilith was the first female. Well, what was the deal with Lilith? Lilith was highly knowledgeable about who she was. Lilith was not succumbing to what these other entities out here said. She knew she had a right from God, and not the God of whoever was talking to her, but she know there was a higher God. So she's down here with Adam, according to that left out book of Lilith, and Adam is trying to sex her every which way but left, and she's like, you know what? No, you get away from me. And he's like, oh no, I'm the man. You're supposed to be on the bottom, and I'm out. So according to this scripture, she sprouted wings and flew off. So if her and Adam came from the same soil, why couldn't Adam sprout wings and fly off after her? He didn't have both X's. He had a Y. That's why. What is a Y? And brothers, again, go look this up. I'm not dissing you. I just need you to understand. It's a degraded X, where 1,300 of the genes. She got 1,400 genes in both of her X's. And then he gets 1,300 genes removed. He left with 100. Somebody gave Lilith access to both of her X chromosomes. That's your X-Man powers. Supernatural powers. That's what that is. Your both X's turned on, tapped in. You can teleport. She shape-shifted, sprouted some wings. All right. And so what happens when she flies off? According to that book, it says God sent some angels after Lilith to bring her back. And when they reached her, she said, nope, not going. I'm good. And so Evidently, they took the message back and said, God, she said, no, she's not coming back. Well, you tell her that I'm going to kill 100 of her children every day if she don't come back. Now, you should be asking yourself, wait a minute. How's she having children if she left Adam? He the only one on the planet. How is she having children on her own if she not with Adam? What the book just told you is that women have the ability to procreate on their own. Oh, but it's fake. Call it what you want to, because they did the same thing in the Bible when they told you how Mary was born. They're letting you know that it's definitely possible parthenogenesis, and I'm telling you that women were doing it. Look up the Parthenon. You better dig too. They're not going to tell you about it, but you better dig. Don't listen to AI. You're going to have to go and find some books that came before the 1800s. Then you'll know that women were able to procreate on their own via parthenogenesis. The Parthenon is where they went to learn how to do it, but it was shut down by a Christian organization, and all religions are patriarchal. Why would they want you to know how to do that? We don't. Shut this down. Okay. So we're understanding that, again, here's Lilith with 2 X chromosomes running it. Like, look, I'm good. I'm out here. I'm having my children. Not only is she having children, she's having several of them. Many of them. How many children was she having? That should have been another question. These stories are telling you what's going on, and people are hiding the information, and artificials won't tell you who you are as a woman. Diva Laree is just trying to give it to you. You got powers that are turning back on, and you better know how to be accountable, or you're going to destroy yourself. Stay tuned, because I'm going to let you know what happens when you're not accountable. Remember to keep that bell on for notifications. Follow You in a Republic for more great information.